Incremental routines. So you may have heard about recall in a spaced repetition. But what about incremental recall in a superset of spaced repetition that is incremental reading? So basically, incremental recall is building memories and a spark creativity one piece at a time. Let's dig into detail. So, a process of recurring memories, such an eventful day, in a small bursts over time, rather than one big push. So instead of recalling everything in one go, you want this to have some incrementalism. No, it's not other than that. How it works. You have new associations, like a smell or mention in an article, can trigger the additional forgotten details. That, now this key fact that I read, and this allows me to recall, oh yeah, and this and that and that. Oh, you remember that place in the we went last summer. Oh, this. And then you have all of those memories consecutive. More or less, it goes in this direction. Something that is, strictly speaking, is not forgotten is that you are unable to access to that knowledge or memory. Then, quote, a blank page might stay blank if you rely on it alone. Associations throughout your day can bring your memory to life, and that is the key. In other words, you have redundancy. You can access the same memory from different points of view, different places. Then, let's do real-life examples. An eventful day. Visiting an exciting city, meeting an old friend, attending a big conference, a wedding, something that is out of the ordinary. Then, writing a detailed report. You start by writing key points, but soon you run out of immediate recollections. I want to add an example that I will use throughout this video, and it's a Supermemo anniversary. So, for instance, that's an event that happens once a year. It's a big deal. If you're in the niche, it's a big deal. And then what happens is that then Piotr Wozniak writes his own article about that. A few months ago, we had the 37th, right? And you will see that is still a work in progress. That here you have only bullet points to develop further and just a mention. So it has to be developed. And it's one big event. Could be like a conference, to simplify. Nice. But you don't do this in one chunk. You do this incrementally. The incremental approach. So you keep a notepad ready. Each time a new memory surfaces, you jot it down. That, oh yeah, now I remember we talked about Little Fish inspiration of new options with, mobile phones. Now I get it. Oh, now that I say mobile phone, I remember something else, and remembering this fact allows me to remember something else that it was not accessible directly. Nice. So take away. Don't force it in one sitting. Let external cues spontaneously spark more details. Sometimes I won't be even there, so I don't have to wait until I make the effort that let me write a little about this article. Perhaps walking the dog. I'm watching a YouTube video or listening to a podcast, and for whatever reason, something cross, and I make this connection. And now I remember. Yeah, you remember during the event that guy said da. Oh, I don't want to say anything in particular, but you make that connection. Then you embrace it. So once you get home, or you want to jot it down, or a voice message, whatever. The point is that it happens eventually. So why conventional recall falls short? One big session. It's like, imagine you are, you're under arrest. The police thinks you are a suspect for murder or for whatever. You go to the police station, and then they ask a lot of questions. And basically it's recall. What you were doing at this time, what's your relationship with this person, what is your job, so your alibi and whatever, right? But basically it's recalling and recalling. And I have to recall what happened yesterday at that point I can make my best effort to recall everything in one go, but it will be easier if I do this incrementally. Obviously, in the police, they won't wait. Hey, let's wait in 1 week. Let's see what you can recall better, right? For particular reasons, that's not the thing. But what will happen? That I can try my best, but I'm fatigued. I have trying very hard, and that's it. It's one big session. Eventually, you will go blank. That yeah, I don't remember anything else. Then low trigger variety. Without novel stimuli, you stall. Your mind needs fresh inputs to unearth overlooked memories. So sometimes, just because first interruption and because you have other stimuli, is hey, now I can backtrack and have a fresh point of view. Something I do even myself in this video that hey, I do those slides. Sometimes they are dormant. That the quality is not good enough. I'm not there. I don't know how to express it. And perhaps they sit around for months, sometimes even 9 months. But then, because of the interruption and what I did during this interruption, oh, now it's easier than before. The incrementalism wins. Memories often hide in unexpected corners of the mind. Brief triggers in daily life brings them out, and could be something even the most unexpected thing, like staring in a pot of salt. And, to mention something ridiculous, that wait a second, and then you recall something about blood pressure. With blood pressure, you go to da da da. You wonder, and you go to something unrelated, unexpected, corners of your mind. Then, incremental learning as a catalyst. You have rich, varied materials with incremental learning. You read bits from many different topics in a single day. So this helps. You have a lot of different stuff, so it's a lot easier to have some unrelated connection. That though, I will do a chapter of a textbook, and it's about physiology of whatever. Boom, and that's it. That's the comparison. Then, association fuel. Each snippet can spark an unexpected link on today's experiences. In both ways. So sometimes I first watch a short and said, what? It was a guy telling that it's healthier to sleep on the floor than on a mattress. And then some hours later in a video call, someone mentions that he's been some weeks trying to sleep on the floor. Is first, what are the odds that this happens? That on the same day I have this input. But it's the other way around. It's not that first is the person who links this, and then I watch a video. It just happened by serendipity that I watched the video before. And then it's, oh wow. Now that I have those both inputs, it's enough that there's something here. Sparks my interest, and I will consciously try and search for that. Because, for instance, I know that the Japanese sleep on the floor. Not directly, they have like the futon, but they don't use a mattress. Is this healthier? They do rest more the muscles and and I go there. I start the loop. And then faster recall. Your note about an unrelated subject might be spontaneous remind you of a conversation or a sight from an eventful day. Then I remember a conversation I had that, oh wow, I had this conversation in mind for weeks, or months, or even years. And now it's, oh yeah, and like everything, I like kind of download the full episode to mention it like this. And oh, now it makes more sense. And this served as a catalyst. So advice. When learning is diverse, many different topics, your brain hunts connections across multiple domains. Jogging hidden memories is one of the advantages. Then, from incremental recall to creativity. You can recall, basically, is recovering past memories in small increments. But creativity is to add new material to the mind. ideas, knowledge, novel combinations of existing facts, and that's it. It's like, for instance, in cooking. You may use the same ingredients that are known to you, facts that you already know, knowledge you already have. It's just in a different combination. And hey, that's a new recipe. It's a novel recipe, even though the ingredients are known to me. That's creativity. And then the directed problem solving. So directed problem solving, harnessing recall, plus fresh knowledge to address specific questions or a challenge. Incrementalism for the win. So quote, first, reconstruct what you already know, then add new layers of insight or invention. It is that easy. So success relies on just iterating on that. So then, the steps to use incremental recall. Keep a running outline. Jot down memory cues immediately, on paper, digitally. Depends on your flow. Ideally, digitally. Then embrace serendipity. Let everyday events, the randomness, apparently randomness, or reading sessions prompt a recall. No pressure to remember all at once. Embrace serendipity. And supplement with incremental reading. That means systematic approach. Insert small bites of varied reading material across pollination of ideas. So could be, for instance, it was cooking with the recipes. I could go with physics, with, I don't know, chemistry, then something unrelated. And sometimes I draw some conclusions with Minecraft, a video game, and I draw some conclusions in something in botany or in even philosophies. What? Minecraft with philosophy? Yeah. Inside, a memory cue can spring from the unlikeliest context that you may think it's absolutely unrelated. That I say Michael Jordan and potato, and you could make a link out of that. Like a game that you have to go from one Wikipedia article to another Wikipedia article unrelated by hyperlinks. Something like that. So stay open and note everything promptly. Then, what are the benefits of incremental recall? Better retention of life events. Because you divide. It's the opposite. It's easy to remember the stuff when you divide, right? You put it on atomic facts. Same with recall of your memories. When was that? Which day? Oh, we went to eat where? We visited what was the museum called? Da, da, da. This can be done incrementally. And now I have pictures. I have even the history in the GPS. There are many ways that I can backtrack where I was, even if I have forgotten, and get the name of the country, name of the street, and whatever. So daily accounts for experiences enrich diaries, research, and reflective practice. And this can be also incremental. So for instance, some months ago, I was in Malta, and I went to the Popeyes village. And there I learned something, quite a few things. Even old games and stuff like that, and related to the movie even. That doesn't mean that later on I can still reflect on that, on something that I haven't done yet, just by recalling from the same day. It was just a day. Then, higher creativity. Ongoing synergy within all memories and new knowledge fosters fresh insights. That now I make connections that I couldn't before. Even though the memory is the same, the date that I went to the Popeyes village, the knowledge was already there. It just happened that I didn't make this connection. And I do it 2 months later, or 3 months later, or years later. Sometimes I backtrack that now I have some golden nuggets, I have more knowledge than before. And an event that was 14 years ago, now I have a new connection. It was 14 years ago. Like going to the gym. I go now to the swimming pool. I don't like the gym, but it's of the very few who has a full-fledged swimming pool. And it's the same that I went the first time when I was obese. And I wanted to lose weight. But also I was training to become a lifeguard. It was a requisite for what I wanted to study. And I didn't even know how to swim. I had some disease from birth that they didn't allow me to go underwater. So I could not swim by medical prescription until I was like in my almost 20s or something like that, very late in life. She say it's the same gym, the same pool, and so on. So now I have memories of what I was doing 14 years ago. And some of the mistakes I did, some memories before that, hey, I have grown. Obviously, I'm older, but also I have different knowledge than before. Now I behave differently. I do something that I will not do before. And still, I still have some memories of back then, 14 years ago, that I do new connections. But the knowledge is from back then. So what's new is the creativity or the problem solving, the new connections for something, knowledge that is old. So problem solving. Tapping into reawakened recollections can help fix gaps in understanding or build solutions from previously unconnected threads. Something very silly that I have always put the swimming cap and then the goggles. I spent years. I have done hundreds of swimming sessions, almost, and for 2 years, two a day. It was really hardcore. It never crossed my mind to inverse the order. First the goggles, then the swimming cap, which I do now. Something as silly, as simple as that. I need 14 years to try this. And it works better. It fits more or better. It doesn't hurt the skin with long usage with the goggles. One tiny example. So quote, your mind becomes a dynamic canvas where the old and new knowledge interact with a spark epiphanies. And that's the thing. It's not that discrete that you have old, older, or new, like in buckets. That from today, from last week, last month. No, it's everything is mixed together. So imagine a recipe. You're cooking, I don't know, rice. And you add something on the rice. So meat, vegetables, mushrooms, But you never, or it will be better if it's soup. And you never end. So you collect some soup. I will eat this today, but I keep cooking. So it's always on fire. I keep putting ingredients and consuming the soup. So some of the stuff will be new from now, from a few hours ago, or even from yesterday, or whatever. So everything is mixed together. It's not as discrete. Then, conclusion. Incremental recall is a powerful method to gradually reconstruct memories, and especially effective when paired with incremental learning. You can do it without incremental learning, but it will be even better with it. Then, from recollection to innovation. Repeated small triggers breathe life into old experiences, fueling creativity and a stronger problem solving. That's why sometimes I include some genuine examples from mine, and some are very old. They stem for TV shows that I have watched when I was a kid. And even today, as an adult, I revisit those TV shows, and and I make those connections that I couldn't before. So it doesn't matter how old the experiences are. It's something vivid. It's something I liked. I like or I liked in the past. And youthful creativity is like some kind of weird feeling that, wow, I was missing this. I was blind at some degree. And now that I see it, is, oh wow, I should have this insight 10 years ago, not today. Embrace serendipity. Takeaway. With a pen in hand and diverse mental stimuli, you uncover lost memories and spark new ideas as a continuously daily habit. And could be even automatic. For instance, on the phone, I have Google Photos. And sometimes you have those push-up notifications that, hey, it's been 5 years ago, boom, you have a picture. 7 years ago, boom. And sometimes it's, what? First, I was that thin. I don't even remember that picture. I forgot, oh yeah, we went That data we went to whatever town, I don't even remember the name, and we had that experience with my girlfriend. And what is this clothes? I don't even remember wearing this t-shirt or whatever. Something it will have been forgotten completely. But I had a random, as let's say, a serendipity thanks to the algorithm that shows that, hey, it's been 7 years with this. So you can iterate on that. You can exploit this effect to your benefit. That is using incremental recall. And if you use it with a space repetition, and if you use it with incremental reading, you can do this, abuse it systematically. So you maximize the chances that this occurs. Hope has been useful enough. I don't want to use concrete examples. This is just a theory, and then later on I will have some real examples. Me using Supermemo. That's all for now. See you incrementally.